is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker, an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey, and Scotty's Michael J. Fox studios in Beverly Hills, California. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Devils, I don't know, they got shot down by the Ducks.
Well, we all see what the issue is. You're not wearing your neck brace, Sam Wu. That is the problem right there. We all said it was good luck, and then you went and you un-Bobby the Brain Heenan'd yourself and took it off. What's going on?
Under the weather. I'm under the weather. I'm under the weather. It causes you to do different things. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't physically feeling it to do this podcast.
Okay. I heard we got a couple cats under the weather right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just I'm saying to Ronaldo Lyons. Give me Gudas, not Gibson. There's some beefalytics right there.
Gibson. Okay.
There's some beefalytics right there. I agree.
JP, I think you hit the nail on the head for tonight's game. Supernova as well. Oh, man. Well, yeah, Eddie, this one, it hurt a little bit, but at the same time, it was like, let's talk about it. Let's discuss.
It's a combination of things.
It's a combination of things. I think the biggest thing, as Sam Wu and I were talking about after, just before we signed on here, remember that scene from Star Wars? Or which one was it? It was Empire. It's a trap! It's a trap! There's gifs of it everywhere. It's a trap! This game was a trap. You got a bottom, well, we don't want to say bottom feeder. That's bad. We'll say a lower level team right now. How about that? That's more.
You're being politically correct.
I'm being professional, okay? A lower level team came in. Their goaltender, who we had our eye on and mysteriously became ill, although it seemed apparent he had a hamstring issue, but he was now under the weather, which, in all technicality, we're all under the weather, aren't we? So that's, take that for what you may. But, yeah. Gibson was dominant for when he was in there. But this was a trap game. And what else was it, Sam?
Second half of a back-to-back.
You got it. And I think that this is their sixth one of the season. How many second games of the back-to-back have we won this year, Sam Wu?
Just one.
That's right. Devils have issues in these back-to-backs. Even though it's not a long plane ride, it's still a plane ride out of Columbus last night as well. And they were feisty today. Seems to come out of them when they play these Western teams.
Yeah. I
got a little physical in Seattle.
Maybe the Devils should move to the Western Conference. I don't get it, Scotty. I don't get it. Something is off with the New Jersey Devils.
That's what I heard. That's what we heard about Vitek Vanacek, because Nico Dawes was recalled just hot off the injured reserve. He was recalled up tonight to be an emergency backup, sort of. Because, we heard Vitek Vanacek was feeling off in the warm-up. So he was scratched. So Akira Schmidt in goal against the dad's trip again. Dawson Mercer, good sign at the start of the game here, He was back in there. He took that hard shot block off the ankle there at the end of the previous game. And, what's his streak at? Like 100 think they said 193. He's played in 193 straight games. And he's played in every game since he debuted. He's never missed a game.
Knock on wood.
That's knock on wood. And, after that shot last night, near the end of the game, I mean, man, it was questionable if he was going to be able to make it out there tonight after flying and, of course, a back-to-back. But he's there. Dads are up in the stands watching. Brat had a 7-point game streak. Nico, 10 points in 10 games since he's returned. And by the way, we forgot to mention it last night. So thank you, Sam Wu, for putting it out there on the socials. I knew there was one milestone that I was not hitting on. As soon as we ended the show last night, I was like, did I hit on the milestones enough? I'm like, did I talk about all the milestones? And I knew there was something off. We forgot to mention Lindy Ruff, 850th career victory last night to go along with Jack Hughes, 100 points, fastest in team history to reach that point. And Nico Hischier passing 300 career points. Jack Hughes, 100 goals. Sorry. So it was a big night last night. Tonight, not so much. So Kevin Ball had himself kind of a rough game. And that first period wasn't pretty. He had a pretty bad cross-check there, which he got called for a penalty on. And then later, he's got to step to it with Ross Johnson, who is, one of those fighters. One of those guys that maybe Devils fans, some Devils fans, maybe not all, type of player they would want on their team. And Kevin Ball got one good shot in, but it didn't really look like he was comfortable throughout that fight. Which Johnson, he switched the whole hand stance up there and caught Ball pretty good there at the end of that fight. But good for Kevin Ball because I believe Johnson. I was listening to the radio because here in Los Angeles the game was very awesomely blacked out because they were playing the Anaheim Ducks. Yay!
So everything went wrong tonight.
Everything went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, they wore those jerseys as well. I saw in the highlights. Jeez. But yeah, Kevin Ball had to step up, but also I believe Johnson took a big hit at Nico. And there were a lot of big hits tonight. It was getting feisty out there. So good for Kevin Ball for going in there. Devils eventually got a power play, unsuccessful. Holtze got stopped on a nice save by Gibson. And then on Eric Halla, Gibson down in the splits, doing the old school flash of the glove there as Eric Halla. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Robert De Niro style over there. That was a nice save. Pretty good with the save. Pretty good. That took me back to like the old school days. I don't know why. Just when Marty used to do that.
Yeah, flash on the glove.
Oh, yeah.
Robbery. I mean, Patrick Waugh used to exaggerate.
That was a good one, though, yeah. So, I don't know. Halla got stopped. He somehow got himself right in the middle there in the slot wide open. So, either way, moving into the second period, and that is when our old buddy, Adam Henrique, old Rico, who we all love, scored that goal. Come on, Henrique, it's over. Game 6 against the Rangers, at home, jumping up against the glass. It's very convenient that Doc Emmerich was on the NBC call for that one right there. Mm-hmm. Just made it that much more sweeter. But we all remember he got traded at the beginning of the Ray era for Sami Vatanen, which, it is what it is. I know he didn't want to leave New Jersey. But he's had a great career out here in Anaheim, that's for sure. Somehow or another, you know what eluded him his entire career, Sam Wu? A hat trick. What are the odds that a hat trick has eluded him his entire career so far? 14 years he's played in the league. 14. You know, he's never had a hat trick. Wouldn't it be funny if he got a hat trick against his old team there? And then, yeah, well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
Why do we always get destroyed by our former players when they come back? Either way, this one, this was a power play goal, so no bueno here. But our old buddy Rico with 3 Devils chasing 1 puck. I don't know how they literally just forgot about Adam Henrique. And I know this one was Kevin Ball really out of position there, high in the zone. And Adam Henrique was literally just standing behind them. Hey, you guys, no one, you could probably underhand softball toss it to me. Slow pitch softball toss it to me, and they won't be able to skate here fast enough to be able to cover me. So puck gets put on net, and Rico does this nasty tip, and whew, he's left all alone right in front of Akira Schmidt. I don't think he really fought the goaltender on that one. It was a sick tip. Goes right between the legs as Akira Schmidt's trying to close up that 5-hole. Trickles into the goal. 1-0 Anaheim Ducks. That was at 1:46 of the second period. And then Gudas. See, again, I was listening to the radio, so I'm not sure. I'm going to have to rely on you guys. They said Gudas lined up Luke Hughes, and Chico described it as an old-school Stevens-esque hit. So hit me up in the comments, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Hello. Happy Sunday. And then it really started to get exciting and interesting as Jack Hughes gets hit behind the net. And then he retaliates with a cross-check. And now there's a battle along the boards, and all I'm hearing about is Jack is looking pissed. And he gets a penalty for a cross-checking. And I think now we can really safely and surely say, no Lady Bing for Jack Hughes. Not with the cross-check on the record there. Oh, Jackie boy. It's gone. It's gone. Jack Hughes says, the hell with that. I ain't stand for this crap. And he's getting feisty over there. Devils on the PK, and I think Mr. Ball may have gotten a little talking to on the bench because he did not leave his post on this next power play. So I think he learned his lesson, and he did a better job on there. But still, that first one with Henrique being wide open, well, actually, it's kind of a recurring theme throughout the night. Either way, after, oh, wait, when did they fight, by the way? Oh, we totally skipped over that, didn't we? I forgot. My bad. Yeah, we had Kevin Ball. Oh, we already did talk about that. That's right, because we talked about it at the top with Sam. But we did have, in the first period, that was the Ball and Johnson fight over there. Now, after the Devils kill off that penalty, you got Johnson chirping at the bench. Miller and Carrick each get a 2-minute roughing. Minors. And then they said, actually, I think they said was abuse of officials is what Johnson got 10-minute misconduct for. So we got a whole bunch of action going on over here. It's 4-on-4 play. And guess what? Guess who gets open right in front of the net again? Yeah. Old buddy Adam Henrique. And you know what? After the first goal, you hear some cheers. You're like, oh, well, you know, hey, at least it's Adam. This next time you're like, yeah, okay. I don't like this very much. Yeah. Second goal of the night for Adam Henrique. This was a great keep, by the way, by Troy Terry. Along the boards, up high. Devils are trying to clear the puck out. He's using his physicality to keep the puck in, makes the hit, gets possession, passes it over, and then another shot goes towards the net. And literally, the shot hit Adam Henrique's skate, and he's wide open, parked at the side of that, and it stuck to his skate blade, basically, because it just just plopped right next to him in perfect position to just swat it right into the net. Second goal of the game, his 8th of the year, coming at 11:17 of the second period. Jack took another interference call, which was kind of a weird one over here. 2 penalties in one night, Jack Hughes, you madman. Then the Devils drew a tripping penalty. We got a 4-on-4 action. And then Terry, it was Terry and put it off the post. And then the Devils were able to counterattack. And then Toffoli hit the post. And then eventually the Devils do get on the board right at the end of the second period. At 19:16, Mikey McLeod gets his 6th of the year. And this was a great way to end the period because it really got the Devils back into this. At this point, it's only 2-1. And this was Mikey kind of zigzagging his way into the zone. Curtis Lazar is just cruising on in there. Curtis the Laser. Lazar. I said laser. You may also pronounce it as Lazar. He's cruising in. Mikey McLeod is zigzagging, and they're like tight. They're not spread out on this 2-on-1 situation. They're in tight, one defender, 2-on-1. McLeod passes it over to his left, and Lazar gets it on his backhand. And as he's already got it on his backhand, the defender for the Ducks, I don't remember who it was, but is starting to turn towards Lazar, and he just quickly backhands a pass right back to McLeod, who then, boom, is able to swat it into the net. Devils on the board. McLeod, his 6th from Lazar, his 5th assist, and Nate Bastian getting on the score sheet as well. His 3rd assist of the year. Even strength goal at 19:16, ending the second period on a high note. Now is when we get the news that all of a sudden John Gibson, who has been just robbing the Devils left and right, is now officially under the weather. I don't know. I've heard from the MSG broadcast what Sam Wu said, and I know Chico was saying it as well on the radio broadcast, that it looked like John Gibson pulled his hammy. But Vitek Vanacek not starting because he said he felt off. So I don't know. Start the rumor mills, go for it. But if he pulled his hammy, boy, that wasn't a good timing. Because, man, was he impressive in the first 2 periods. Shutting the Devils down. And then this third period, it basically all went to hell. Killorn, Terry, at 4:14, and then 9:57. Kira Schmid made some big saves in this period as well. But the first goal, Nemec was out of position on. Killorn put it in. The second one, the Devils get the late penalty, and then Toffoli, right, takes another penalty right after to negate. They were just off kind of all night. Middle of the period, Troy Terry puts one in for his 7th. Killorn made it 3-1. Terry makes it 4-1. And then, we love ourselves some gambler. Lindy Ruff. Devils get a late penalty. A late power play. And Lindy says, we're going 6-on-4. Because I know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to pull that goalie and go 6-4. I thought it was a smart idea. I was very hopeful we'd get at least one, but a former Devil got one. Of course, it's Adam Henrique with the empty net goal at 14:12. Oh, was this short? Oh, yeah, this was shorthanded as well. Because it was a 6-on-4. The Devils were on the power play. Ugh. Now, all of a sudden, you're like, not so much, Adam. Not so much. No, I don't know if we got any extra pasta and chicken parm for you tonight. Oh, the special vodka sauce you like? Oh, I'm sorry, we just ran out of that. Yeah, it was the hat trick special. Rico, you had to save your first career hat trick while you're playing against us. We still love you, buddy. Rangers goal. Goal against the Rangers to win the conference finals and redeem all those years of frustration since 94 against that team in particular. Oh, you will forever be a legend in New Jersey Devils hockey. But you didn't have to put a Hattie in tonight on us. 5-1 Ducks. And that's how the game ended. Shots on goal for the Ducks, 4-10-13 for a total of 27. Devils, 14-5. They had a terrible second period when all that physical stuff, they got distracted away from their game plan. 5 shots on goal in the second, 10 in the third for a total of 29. Wasn't too, and you know what? I guess there was a lot of illegal hitting going on tonight because the hits here are 10-8 in favor of the Ducks, but it sure seemed like there was a lot more. The Ducks had 17 blocked shots. The Devils had 10. Devils won the face-off battle, 30 wins to 23. Devils were 0 for 5 on the power play, but those weren't all full power plays. That one was like 4 seconds long and another, yeah. So Ducks were 1 for 5. Lots of penalty minutes. Made for some exciting stuff, but Devils in play as well. Good team defense tonight. Maybe Vitek Vanacek was right for the whole team, that everything just kind of seemed off. But this is the second half of one of those lovely back-to-backs, which we have struggled mightily in, no matter who we are playing in the second half. So, yeah. Kind of sort of to be expected. We thought yesterday was going to be the trap game. It turned out to be today. I'm not looking too much into it, except as long as the defense goes back to the way it was playing in the past, 5 games and not the way it played in this game. Let's hear what you think about it, and let's check in with the king of the football calls, who's back. He went to pay his bills again halfway through. Yep. And he's still without the neck brace. Where is the lucky neck brace, Sam Wu? Sammy the Woo Heenan. I thought we had a deal. You were going to wear it until, you took it off, and what happened?
No, I was going to wear it till they lose. And they lost tonight.
Because you didn't have it on.
They don't know that.
All right, Sam, tell me, what do you say about this evening's game?
It's just wild with Vitek, Vanacek, it's nothing physical. So is it mental? And, you got to have some kind of mental toughness or grit in this game. Mm-hmm. It is such a, I don't know, kind of reminds you of that coworker that always calls off sick because they're a little off, Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that Vitek did that, but just based on the reports and then the Gibson thing, based on the replays, it looked like a hammy. Yep. I think it may have devalued his trade value if indeed Anaheim.
It came out as a hammy.
Yeah. So Anaheim puts out that he's under the weather. And it's like, what? If it starts raining outside, suddenly the hammy starts to go. Is he that old? Is he grandpa? Yeah, I'm going to be calling out tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do.
Sam is calling out tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's a little under the weather. That's all.
Yeah.
And Daryl's agreeing. We need the neck brace. You better next game, Sam Wu. I don't want to hear any more excuses.
Against the Flyers, I'm going to need the neck brace.
Against the Flyers.
I'm going to need the neck brace.
You're going to need it. Friday, New Jersey's won 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it was just a bad game. It happens every now and then. It's one of those trap games like we talked about. It's the second of a back-to-back. I will say there are some things. Ronaldo pointed out we have 16 back-to-backs this season, which is friggin' crazy. And the one thing that is concerning, I will say this, and good eye on JP for this one. The Devils at home are 6-7 which we've seen this from this team before. Some of these guys, most of these guys, as they've been growing up, we've seen it kind of like rotate, where one year they're really great at home, and they're terrible on the road, and then most of the time I feel like they are better on the road than they are at home. But they really need to get that home. I mean, look at last year in the playoffs against the Rangers. You lose the first two at home.
I don't get it. The only thing I can think of is maybe they're too coddled when they're at home. They don't show up to play, but they did show up to play. They in the first period, they were just outgunning.
They did.
Outgunning Anaheim,
Yeah. The second period was really bad. I mean, they just looked a little gassed. And it's going to happen, especially when you're already on your sixth back-to-back of the season already. I mean, it's insane the way they made the schedule.
Yeah, but, again, I think it had a lot to do with Vitek Vanacek. It's just, I don't know. If I was on the team or my teammate, it's like, okay, are you all right? Or is it or the Devils pulling an Anaheim right now?
Was he wearing a neck brace? I think that's the first question. If he was wearing the classic neck brace, then I think we have to wonder. Were there any grand opening of hibachi restaurants in the area last night? Because that can maybe prove to provide some problems the next day, which, yeah, I would say maybe don't go out there on the ice.
Maybe he had to deal with the Beverly Hills Ninja. If anybody's seen that Chris Farley flick, one of the best movies of all time, that hibachi scene.
Oh, man. Did they drive back from Ohio? It seems like it. I'm pretty sure they flew after the game.
No, they definitely flew.
You're getting in late, I don't know. It's back-to-backs are tough when you're not home like that. Even though it's not that long of a flight, still flying after a game like that. And yeah, I can see them being a little gassed, and they looked it. So I don't think there's anything too crazy to worry about. If this becomes a trend, then obvious. Well, I mean, the second game of a back-to-back has been the trend. The home record has kind of been a trend. But I think tonight was just more of the home. That's just confusing. But I think this game was just kind of like it was just a bad game. I wouldn't chalk it up to too much more at this point right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game they should have had. At least they beat Columbus. They played down to their opponents. But I mean, Anaheim, you got to credit Gibson. I mean, he made the stops in the beginning of the game to keep his team in it. And as soon as Anaheim got that first goal, then it's like the entire psyche, everything changed, the momentum-wise. And Anaheim was pretty much in full control. They did have a little lapse there when McLeod scored. But, give credit to Anaheim. And they showed up tonight. They played. Jack Hughes gets 2 penalties. I mean, I thought the officiating, I think all the Devils penalties were penalties, but there were a lot of missed calls, on Anaheim, going the other way, and the crowd chanting, "Refs, you suck," and
I heard that coming through the old broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't see everything. Yeah. Because I was watching it because the game was blacked out here in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and who's this saying? Where did I just see that? Daryl, I think it's something like that. But I remember as well, teams get hot and cold. This same sort of thing happened with the Sharks as well. I wouldn't look too much into it though. This game, I really wouldn't. And the thing I think we need to be concerned with is that home record. Because you know what? I think the next 4 or 5 games are at home.
Yeah. And that's a problem.
They have, yeah. I mean, if you're going to go under 500 in these next 5 games, that's not good. That's not what we want to see. So they got to really work on that. What's that?
They're playing the Flyers, then the Oilers, and then the Red Wings.
And don't they have one after the holidays as well?
Yeah.
In the week between, right? Isn't that one's also a home game too, right?
Yes, on the 27th.
On the 27th. So what's that? 4 or 5? That's 5, right?
Yeah. 5.
Oh, Select says it's the next 4. All right, so we can't be going 1 and 3 in these next 4. I think this is something they really gotta figure out. I don't know. I thought John Gibson was pretty good tonight, Steve. Tartazi says nothing besides the hollow shot was big. The red zones for loading and unloading of passengers. Steve Tartaz, yes, I agree. I don't think this loss was on Akira Schmid. I think this was just Rico on the first 2. He was just so wide open. So I think there were some defensive breakdowns tonight. Again, they looked off. They did. They looked quote unquote off, as Vitek Vanacek put it. So I'm not going to chalk it up to too much just yet. We're right back at it. Start of the week here. Right? Wait a minute. Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. So we got 1 day off so they can actually sleep. Get a little practice in. And we're 7-3 in our last 10? That's not so bad. And they play Philly. That's a team that they can beat. Although Philly's been hot lately.
So the last 3 losses. Ducks, Oilers, and the Sharks. The 2 of the 3. The Western Conference, bottom dwellers. That's interesting. But the Sharks and the Ducks,
the Oilers
were the second half of the back.
So were the Oilers.
Yeah.
Were the Oilers the second game of the back too, right? It was that weekend.
Yeah.
It was Calgary, or was Calgary the second game?
No, Calgary was the first game.
Calgary was the first game, right? And then it was Edmonton. Yeah, they're all last 3 are all second games of a back-to-back. So that's why I'm not like getting too crazy over here. Just think it was one of those bad games. It happens.
Yeah.
Now, if we keep seeing, these lapses in defensive coverage and structure, which we've seen so much improvement on in like the last 5 or so, then we'll have to get worried. But let's see how they play. Oh, okay. We got a super chat.
Yeah, Zachary.
Oh,
Devils
like
trade
Zach?
for Allmark at the trade deadline.
I don't know if Boston's going to be looking to do that. But
yeah, unless they give up Jack Hughes.
Yeah, I like your aggression though. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's play Philly. Let's focus on that because it's going to be a 4-point game Tuesday night. We're going to at the Rock, so we're going to be talking about it here. Game day live with Vinny Parisi and Short Sky and Sam Wu. Then we all come back afterwards on Devils After Dark here on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. Hopefully talking about the Devils finding their step again and doing some domination of the Philadelphia Flyers. Tuesday night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get Hallmark, but yeah. Hey, You never know, right? But we'll see what happens. I'm expecting the Devils to bounce back in style. 4-point night, division opponent. Let's get some wins on the home ice, boys. I hope everyone enjoyed the dad trip. I think it was cool. Always love seeing all that stuff. And yeah, tough one, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right, Sam Wu, let's go ahead and hit that music there.
No, I was about to say, if I was a dad, I'd be pissed off.
Oh, jeez.
You know, my dad
You
would
played like crap. You
don't even come home. Don't even come home.
Saturday Night
if you
Live
lose.
sketch where Will Ferrell's like drinking at the Little League game and stuff like that. I think I brought my own snow cone right here. Get on the bag. If you value your life, you will stay on the bag.
Imagine if Mitch Marner was on the Devils and Mitch Marner's dad was on this trip.
Oh man,
Mitch, you don't score, you don't get lunch. You ever see that video? There's a video.
No, I don't think so.
There's a video of Mikey McLeod. It was a documentary. They follow Mikey McLeod and his family, and Mitch Marner and his family and his dad. And it's like a stark contrast. Like the Mikey McLeod's family is like all loving, nurturing, whereas Mitch Marner's it's just like, you don't score a hat trick, you don't get to go home. You sleep outside. I'll send you that video. It's on YouTube.
Thanks.
It's on YouTube.
All right. Well, let's wrap this bad boy up.
I found the button. That was my stall tactic.
All right.
Yeah. There you go. Well, thank you to everybody for joining in, dropping the podcast at midnight. We'll be back on Tuesday. Game Day Live and Devils After Dark. Devils take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Just remember to drink your Ann Crew brew and American whiskey. Till next time, let's go Devils.